Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. I've got a new mold out. I just got it in. I haven't used it yet. This is from Molds and Shapes. I love their molds. They're such good quality. Don't forget the discount code that they gave me for you guys. It's in the description box. It's also right here. Make sure you use it. It'll save you 10%. So this one, I've never used one like this before. So I'm like racking my brain on all different ways to use it. This is 3 levels and it's flower shaped. So I was gonna go with pressed flowers and do layers. And then I'm like, what if I do a bloom in them and do different layers? I don't know. I have so many ideas going through my head. So I'm going to do the easiest for me today. And I'm going to do 3 layers. So each layer I measured holds 1 ounce of resin. And I think I'll do a whole set for whoever ends up with these. Each layer holds an ounce. So I think I'm going to do a bloom in the first layer. In the second layer, I'm going to use my crushed crystal. And then in the third layer, I picked out these jewel tones. And I'm going to do like I did with the bloom, like the geode style, where the coloring will just come together on its own on the back of it. So you should see the bloom with crushed crystal behind it and then coloring behind that. So we could do all 3, because if you put this in mica powder, you're not going to see it. I mean, not really. So at least we'll be able to see it in that regards. I just dripped some mica powder in here. So let me clean this out, of course. And then I'm going to mix up my Fast Cure resin by Let's Resin. I've got my Ocean White and my Mother of Pearl for the bloom itself. I don't think I'm going to do any crazy mixing on it because I'm just going to let these colors speak for itself. So we'll just do a regular bloom today. All right, let me get mixing. All right, I got all my bubbles out. I'm ready to go. It is heated. Oh, 33.4. Perfect. Okay, what I'm going to do, this is a 1 ounce cup. And I'm just going to dump it in here just because it'll be even. And I mixed up 6 ounces, I think, because I didn't know how much white I would need for 4 petals, or 4 blooms, I mean. So I'll have extras. I'm just going to mix the rest in white, and then whatever I have left over, I'm going to practice with my marbling technique and my alcohol ink. Since alcohol ink works, that opens up so many more colors that I had. I used to only use pigment, liquid pigment for my marbling, and now I can use alcohol inks. I guess maybe it's because by the time I'm getting to it, the resin is much thicker than it is if you just mix it and do your marbling. So I'm just going to get this to the sides, mix up my white. We'll pop any bubbles that I created. I'm excited. I hope my idea works. Otherwise, I just did 4. I probably should have just done 1 and tried it before I did a whole set. I'm overconfident sometimes, I think. Now you don't want to torch these molds at all. So I'm going to use a lighter. Get all the bubbles off the surface because they will lace up your blooms. If you don't want lacy petals, make sure there's no bubbles in here. And I will probably do this multiple times because I'm getting ready to mix in a whole bunch of bubbles in here. All right, so let's see if I could do this. I've got my piping bag ready. I'm going to use a bag on this one and not the cup because I don't want to overdo it. So this is, 2.5 ounces left. I'm just going to put just a little bit of this in here. Give my resin a little shimmer and shine. Now this is where all my bubbles are going to come from, and that's why I have to torch it so much after I pipe my petals, because I'm mixing more bubbles in. And then I'll put my white in. I don't usually make this much white, so I don't know how many drops of white I'm going to need. This gives it a little shimmer. I think I'll do just a little tad bit more. If I go wrong anywhere in this bloom, it's going to be this part. Oh my gosh, I just dripped it in. See, this is why I don't like to do it over the camera, under the camera, but I want you guys also to see what I'm doing. So now I got to get this out of here. Hang on a minute. Not what I wanted to do. Okay, it wasn't the end of the world. Just mix it in there. No big deal. Got it. Okay. Again, just mix it in. If you want to use any mica powder, you don't have to. If you're new to blooms, I would say get your bloom down before you start adding things to it, because it takes quite a while. It took me quite a while to figure out how to get a good bloom. All right. And now, let me do this again. I do 1 drop at a time. Although this is more, so I'll probably do a big drop. And then I get mine to just opaque. And I'll need more. I know I'll need more. I just don't want to overdo it because I can't take it back. Let's get some more. And I think today I'm going to actually draw petals. I don't think I'm going to... Wow, I need a lot more. I don't think I'm going to do the swirls because of the petal design on the actual coaster. I'm sure a lot of this is going to be left over. We'll be making who knows what with it. Still needs another drop. So this is going to be 4 drops. This should be it. So the best petals that I get are when I have a very thin layer of resin down on my coaster. Like the 1 ounce is usually like the magic number. You don't want it too thick or you will not get a good bloom. Trust me on this. If you didn't see my video a few days ago, that was a complete fail because I tried to pour a 4-ounce bloom at once and that didn't work, but I did get redemption the next day. It's like just almost there. I want 1 more drop. And I can feel it getting really thick. So I do want to get moving on this. I'm not going to put anything in my centers. I'm not a big fan of it. I did it the other day and it was okay. I mean, I don't love it, so personal preference. Some people love all that stuff. It's okay. You're allowed. I feel like I need more, you guys. I'm doing it again. This is like 5. What am I on? 5? This is taking me forever today. Again, I had 2.5 ounces and not like a ½ ounce, so that's why. Usually I'm only mixing 1 bloom for the day, and that's like a ½ ounce, 3/4 of an ounce. That's better. I can still see pink through though. You guys, I'm doing it again. Oh my gosh, I never dreamed. Okay, that's it no matter what. I've got to get moving. This is getting warm in my hand. And I want a pretty decent size hole in my bag, I think. All right, this is good. Good enough. This is what I'm going with. Let me just get it into my bag. I don't need all of it, I guess. Just basically twist it to a tight. Cut off this part. And then make a hole. I'm not going to cut it over here, but just cut your tip. And it is leaking out really good, so I need to get moving here. All right. Not happy about that center one. Let's see, what should I do? A third one is the question. Trying to think here. Maybe I'll do a small one. Hope this center didn't get screwed up. Might be a white blob, and we may have a set of 3 instead of a set of 4. All right, I'm just gonna squeeze this back into my cup. I've got a lot left. And take a dotting tool. And I think I'm gonna pull out on this one because of the petals. Like this. I don't know, you guys. I haven't done this way before. Probably shouldn't have tried it on 4 coasters. That was kind of not thinking here. Sometimes you should just stick with what you know until you test. Jeez. I just want to fix some of these blobs. This one I'm really worried about. My white came out quickly in the center. It's blooming already, so that's good. But I don't think you're going to see any swirl marks. Not happy about that one. I may go in later after 20 minutes or so and re-swirl that. I'm not sure if that'll do anything, but I don't know how else to fix it. All right, now I'm just gonna pop some bubbles. I see a piece of glitter on this one. A lot of bubbles on these. Let me grab that glitter. I'll put you on a little time lapse so you can kind of see what's going on. They are cured, they're ready for layer number 2. So I've mixed up 4 ounces of just my regular epoxy resin. And I'm going to put a nice little dose of my crushed crystal. Actually, I think I'm gonna overdose it today because you're really not gonna see a whole lot between the petals and then just that little edge right there. So I think I'm gonna put like more than I would ever put in anything. A second little dash. Oh yeah, that's a lot. And then I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna measure with my little plastic cup. Make sure they all have 1 ounce and then cure those. And then we'll do the back coat. That looks pretty. Get that out of there. There's one. And hopefully it doesn't go over that center second layer. Nope, that's perfect. I don't know if this is going to have any effect on a finished product or not, but we're going to find out. 2. I don't want to put my resin on the heat mat. It's still on. This could be all for nothing. I don't know what you're going to see from the front, so that's why I experiment for you guys, so you don't make my mistakes. I hope it looks good. I hope you could see it through it. I should have made the flower smaller probably and didn't fill the whole thing, but it's so hard to control. I just love blooming. And one more. Yep, the exact amount. I might have enough for one small pendant or something. The other mixture that I had left over, I colored my white to black And I made another holographic coaster to match the one I made the other day. This way I can get a set of them made. So I don't want just one coaster. So that's over there curing too. So my next couple extras are actually going to go towards a set of those coasters. All right, well, heat mat's on right now. I'm just going to let it cure and then we'll do the final coat. Okay, so I had to move to a different section of my room because the heat mat was on, and I don't want to do this portion with a hot surface underneath it, or it's not going to let the resin move the way I want it to move. So I just put some of the mica powder in each of these cups. Remember, I'm doing 4 colors, and I'm just going to mix. I did a 1/2 ounce of the color, and then I'm going to do a 1/2 ounce of the clear for each one. So I just want to get these mixed up. This one is by Eye Candy and it's called Rainbow Green. I'll link everything below in case you like a color. But I just didn't want it to set up before it was finished moving. I like all those little striations it's going to make. This one is, I have not used this one yet. I had to open it. This is the Let's Resin and it's called Bright Gold. So yeah, I wanted some jewel tones, so I wanted to do different colors yet keep them a set, so I didn't want to go completely weird colors that wouldn't go together. So I'm like, I'll do jewel tones today. So we'll see how they react in the resin. This blue one is called, whoops, Blue. It's just called Blue by Let's Resin. So I just did a good scoop on the bottom of the cup, which works better than putting it on top of your resin because it doesn't go flying everywhere when you're stirring it. This one actually I could use a little more. I forgot to check the other ones. It's still a little pale. So I'm going to put a little bit more of the blue in. Yeah, I wanted to put it on a cold surface, which is the granite underneath it. Should cool these down. By the time I remembered it was hot, I was already mixing my resin, so it was too late to turn back. So I was like, what am I going to do? I can't get my heat mat to get cool that fast. But the stone underneath it definitely will cool it down. That looks better. And then I'll measure out a 1/2 ounce each in this cup for the clear, so they all get about the same amount. And this one is called Orchid, and it's by Let's Resin as well. Now you're at a weird angle too because my phone stand over here is not as good as the other one, so kind of improvising here. I will be back at the normal spot for demold. That looks really pretty, nice and bright. I'm just going to check my gold and my green again and make sure I can't see through it. That one's good. And that one's good. All right, so what I'm going to do, like I said, is pour 1/2 ounce. I mixed up 4 ounces because each one holds 1 ounce. And I got some. Oh, look at that. It wipes right out. Got some powder in there. Let me just wipe this off. See, I had to add powder and that's what happens. All right, that one I was draining my thing into, so there's a little bit of resin already in that one. So let's do 1/2 ounce. I'm going to actually pour my color first around the edge. And I'm going to use it all. I have to use it all because I needed 1 ounce. So 1/2 ounce and 1/2 ounce, you got to use the whole ounce. I think I will scrape it just in case. Well, maybe I don't need to. And then I'm just going to pour my clear in the center. And that will make the effect that you want on the back of it. Get some there. Oh, that's the perfect amount. All right, another 1/2 ounce. We'll do our color. We'll do the gold one. Hopefully this isn't as warm as it was. And then our clear. I don't think I had as much clear in this one as I did the green one. You want to get it into that color so it starts your effect. Then I'll check them all. I didn't like measure anything when I was pouring my colors, so I hope I have enough here. That one, we'll do the blue. Get that over there. And one more. So I'll just use my cup for this one. This is the epoxy resin that I'm using because it will move the longest for me. You don't really want a fast setting resin to do this type of reaction. Do gotta scrape this one out to get it all. So not a whole lot of extras on this video. I did manage to get a couple out of the last set. I will finish those up. Oh, look at that. I have some unmixed mica. But it's the back, so hopefully you won't see it too much. I'm just gonna grab, you can use a heat gun, but because I don't have one over here, see how that's pulling in? So that's what they're all gonna do. I'm gonna grab a lighter instead. So I didn't bring my heat gun with me, but you can heat gun them. Pop any bubbles on the surface. I'm just gonna let these cure. See, I put too much in the green one. The other ones are just barely lower than that one, that first one. Okay, that's it. I'm just gonna let them do their thing. Everything is finally cured. Like, this took all day because of all 3 layers, but I'll show you the extras. So remember I told you I colored my white black and poured it in the coaster mold to match? Well, I know you can't tell in here, but this is garbage because, see this right here? Here, there's thousands of micro bubbles all over the surface because the resin was so thick by the time I poured it that I cannot put this in a set. So this will just be sitting around waiting for a solution. And then I took the other extras and I added a whole bunch of sparkle dust. I made this pendant with it, put that little charm on there. And then I made this keychain that says hope. It's a little fairy and a star. Same thing, the little sparkle dust in there. And then remember what I said I wasn't scraping out the cups for these? You're probably all like, what? She's wasting? No, I had a plan. I took all 4 of them and I put them in one keychain. And then I put some butterflies on top. So I just kind of layered all the colors together, put a little drop of the clear in to fill it up, and that's what I got left. And oh yeah, I put some nail flakes on the top of it so you could see the iridescence coming through. So that's what that is too. So I did have a plan. I do not waste a drop. So this one is higher than the rest, and it had the best reaction because I had more clear in it. So I don't know if you could see how the reaction is better than these ones, but they still had a little bit of a reaction. So let's get these out. We will start with this green. Gosh, I'm hoping this is the one with the big blob of white in the middle. Are we ready? Well, it's not that bad actually. It looks like a rosebud actually in there. It's pretty. Look at that. You can see the sparkle and the green, so you can actually see a little bit of the striations through, but not much. I mean, if you look at the back, they look pretty too, but I'm actually pretty happy with that. This isn't my favorite center, but I knew it was either going to be garbage or, yeah, but it's pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with the sparkle. I'm pretty happy with it. What do you guys think? It's not too bad. I hope they all kind of match, being that they're supposed to be a set. Let me just move these aside. I do like this mold. It is so versatile with these 3 layers. Ready? Okay. Well, hey, look at that. They almost look identical, and this one I didn't blob in the center. I did add some to the center, but it's really, really close. Not too bad. Okay, well, those 2 look good together. The sparkle's in there. The yellow is nice. Okay, I'm pretty happy so far. Let's do the purple. Good, good, good. This one I like to see the striations through it. I wish I would have made these petals smaller. I really do. But all in all, I'm happy with the final project. They look pretty nice. And one more. They come out of the molds beautifully. They're nice and shiny, no need for a top coat. All right, we got a set of 4. Good. I'm super happy that they all match. That's why you should do them all together, because you will never, ever do it the same again. And I like the petals I pulled out this way. I do like them, especially on this mold with the flower portions going out like that. Well, that's a wrap, you guys. Another video under my belt. I hope you guys like them. Do take advantage of the discount codes in the description box. And I will see you guys all tomorrow. I hope you all have a blessed day. Bye, everyone.